Welcome to the Anime Association. I am your host, Shin the Hero, and we will be talking about To Be Hero, episode 9. Before we jump into that, please, for me, like the video and subscribe to the page and hit that noti bell for all the things are come for the Anime Associations. I am joined with Kyle Tim times 10,
Yo, how you doing, man?
and it's us, the best duo in the Anime
You can't
Association.
you can't say that every time you duo up with somebody, man. You say it with Addict, you can't say it now, man. You can't. You're coming off flip floppy, man.
So, To Be Hero, episode 9, we get more of Cyan's story. She becomes a singer hero, pretty much. We get more of her thing. Off rip, how did you feel about the episode, Tim?
The episode, I was enjoying it. Honestly, I kind of like the way it didn't seem to follow the exact same structure as the first two stories that we got so far. But I was enjoying the way things were going and like how she ended up having to rebuild her trust value and how she did it and everything. I thought that was very good to me.
You mean rebuild it? What do you mean rebuild it? I don't think she ever lost trust.
Nah, she did. Remember, so she ran away, but then when she was scratching the ticket, the lottery ticket, she took a look and it said like her trust was at sub 10.
Oh,
And then she
oh,
built it back up. But I think it's because nobody knew who she was specifically, right? Like
yeah,
while she was in like the orphanage, everybody knew who she was, but then when she wasn't there, nobody knew her. And then when she built it back up, and then the whole like idol trust value reattached to her.
oh, okay, yeah. I forgot about that. I was just going harking it back to the first episode of her when she's the kid and her trust value was super high with the
Mm-hmm.
plane crash and everything like that. So I just always thought her trust value was just always super high, as in general. But I forgot about the that. Yes, and I just watched the episode too. That's
And
the
that kind of makes me think she might actually have came from like some type of cult family a little bit, because it was kind of told to us that she always had such a high trust value. So there had that she had to have been on some type of pedestal to me before the orphanage put her up on a pedestal type of thing. Like that
yeah,
kind of is what it seems like is going on. Everywhere she goes, she gets put up on a pedestal.
yeah. Basically that idol mentality type thing, which
Yeah.
that's what she becomes. We get into that later. I'm gonna be honest. I do like To Be Hero. It is probably was one of my most anticipated anime shows of the year in general. I do like it and everything like that. But this episode showed me where I I typically watch anime. I binge it. I normally like binge it and everything like that. And if I knew that um To Be Hero was gonna have like mini arcs, this probably would have been something I wanted to wait until it finished or a arc finished so I can watch all the
Mm,
episodes all at once. So like this episode, it's not a bad episode in particular, but for me, it was very of a boring episode for me. It didn't
mm,
really captivate me or anything like that. Like we can jump into the plot and stuff like that. Where Cyan pretty much escapes the orphanage and she's on her own and she basically becomes like a street performer or street musician and she
yeah.
starts to grow from there and that's how she becomes Lucky Cyan and everything like that. That's the quick gist and breakdown of the episode. With me personally though, like I mean sure I was expecting the dean to actually find like go out and find her instead of he kind of just gave up.
Yeah.
He kind of gave up, which makes sense because they did say he was a hero. We saw the little thing. He was on the little hero, the Time magazine type thing. He was
Yeah.
on that and everything like that. So like it wasn't so like what we had talked about last week. with him. He's not evil, and I don't think he had any nefarious ideas or plans with that. It's just he was coming at it wrong, and with that him not chasing her makes it seem like, yeah, she got away. It is what it is.
Uh, I guess I can see where like kind of his motives might not be evil. It's more so like just the way he might go about certain things. And maybe Cyan was just her power was just one of those powers where you would get like obsessive like that. And for the most part, he's not, but like the kind of like borderline abusive type
Yeah,
of orphanage runner, because they said he was using the church and orphanage to
make
raise
hero.
heroes.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and I'm pretty sure if he was like you were saying, like something nefarious at all times, one of those heroes would have came back too. Like
yeah,
would have
yeah,
like turned tail and came back and destroyed the orphanage. So yeah, I'm guessing it's mostly like he became just obsessed with her powers to help his dream come true, because we seen like the nun herself kind of became obsessive in that same type
yeah,
of
yeah,
vein a
yeah,
little bit because of her power type of thing, because it seems like the journalist that brought her there, it seems like he has a good heart, so I don't
yeah,
think he
yeah,
would bring somebody there that like, hey, this is the only surviving baby, I think there's a conspiracy around here you go, I know you're going to do something evil. Like, I don't think that's the type of thing that, so I think it's like a give and take with her power.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, I know a lot of random stuff just happens because of her power, like the truck dude, which we did get like a foreshadowing of that because in the beginning, as they're we see him get a we see her friend get a guitar, which she gets that guitar where it's like that blue guitar and everything. He gives it to her basically.
Mm-hmm.
But like you see the guitar and everything, we see this little sweet moment with them, and as they're trying to sneak her back to her room, they overhear. He's like, "Yeah, all it is she's just a little puppet. She's just putting on, like I said, on that pedestal and everything like that." And that kind of hurt her, that hit her hard and everything like that, which you could see. And she just really wants to live her life. That's basically what she wants to do. She wants to do what she wants to do. And so like it with the truck driver talking, I was like, yeah, man, they got me working this and that and the other thing. So like it makes sense. It just came out of nowhere. The truck just busted in and everything like that. I'm like, it makes sense. This makes sense where it happens, and
I was thinking like Esol, the whole Esol storyline kind of has me over analyzing certain things that are happening now, because when the truck crashed and he was like, I fell asleep out of nowhere. What happened? What happened? I'm like, yo, is there a here like is one the commission is like the commission interfering at this point in time to get her out? Like they know what's going on type of thing. And I
I don't
guess
know.
I
I don't
guess
know.
it was like the kind of luck and unluck like
Thing,
it
yeah.
yeah thing going on, but it also had me feeling like there was some, because even later on, like when she gets her first gold coin, like I felt like I was like, is that somebody from the commission? Like, like I'm getting paranoid at this point
Yeah,
in
I
time.
think you are reading a little too much in it because like that them we didn't even get our first dude until we saw her, like we saw somebody like video live streaming her, and
uh
the reporter guy was in the office of one of the dudes who's from the commission pretty much, and he didn't even know about her until then, and that's when he wanted to sign her and everything like that. So like I think you're reading way too deep into it.
Yeah,
I
but you
do.
like the way we seen like how Uncle Rock, that was his name, was like deep, like diving deep, and then every episode I'm scanning the intro a little bit more, and I'm like, well, shit, how come X's head get cut in half? Well, what's going on with X? Like, is he deeper? And I might be over analyzing it, but I think they kind of set it up for things like
Well,
that to be over analyzed.
Uncle Rock, he started no, we knew something was up with him. Like there was something was up. I don't know if it was nefarious, but you always felt there was something up with him.
Yeah,
So with the Uncle Rock thing, this right here, I don't know. I get where you're coming from. I do think you are looking way too deep into it.
I got tinfoil hat on right now. That's what I got on.
But we move on to her basically getting discovered and getting rediscovered again because they started to she's singing her song, having fun and everything like that. Some of the people who used to worship her figure out like, hey, ain't that so and so? And you start seeing it. You saw people praying down, and you see them with the church stuff and everything like that. And she started just like, nope, and ran, and she ran off and everything like that. I mean, that right there, I get, and I do like she is trying to run away from her past and everything like that.
Yeah,
What is one of these things that I guess I could go into what I don't like about the episode is it's a nitpick. It is a nitpick, but it's one of those things that I hate that shows and anime do these things. I hate that they keep information from us. There's no reason for you to show us. So the little boy or the teenage boy, he's in this room. They strip everything from him. He ain't even got a bed no more. He just got his little radio thing. The dean walks in. We see him. He's in a sling. He's all bandaged up and everything. So he survived. She thinks he's dead, but he did survive and everything like that. So he's on his radio and he hears about Lucky Cyan. The dean comes in and he's like, "Yeah, I was gonna tell you about it, but I don't have to waste my breath anymore." And then the dean kneels down and says, "Well, the radio also forgot to say this certain thing about Cyan's past." And he whispers something. You see the lips move and everything like that.
mm,
I don't care if you can read lips. You can't read anime lips. We
yeah.
don't know what the hell. We don't know what those flaps were. We don't know what he said. And it's just, it's drowned out through the music. And then the boy reacts like in a panic and everything like that. And starts to cry and everything like that. And that's like one of my biggest things I had. What is the reasoning behind us not knowing what is said? Is it before we can be put this tinfoil hat? What do you think is said?
Honestly, I really don't have a clue because I don't think he would react like that over learning about like the airplane crash thing, right? Unless the only thing I can think of is if it's something that has to do with him being left behind. Like he lied about something like, "Oh, she's going to leave you behind." Because I know we'll get to it, but I think the link between this scene here and what we saw at the end of the episode, I think those two things are linked together.
Link, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because they call him what the calamity. So I think this
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
something linked to that.
Yeah. I don't, so my thing is it just doesn't make sense that he would say something like she's going to leave you behind or whatever. She's not going to come back for you because one in the next scene, but they formed the bond, a really strong bond, and it just doesn't make sense, especially when he told her to run and everything like that.
Mm,
And it just doesn't make sense for that to hit him that hard. And then even apparently he was listening to the concert. So I don't know if because it cuts away the concert she was doing right at that time. And then at the end of her song, she talks about him and
yeah,
how she is going to try to find him. She wants to find him, her
find out
friend.
if he's alive or
Yeah,
dead.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she tells that to multiple people who's recording and stuff like that. So like I don't, that's my thing. I don't think that would be the case. It's just I really, really hate when anime do that.
Yeah,
And
I think it's adding. it's adding tension that didn't need to be there, especially with how the episode ended. It was like tension. Oh yeah, but don't forget there's still tension. Like that's how it kind of it felt redundant by the end of the episode, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then we get a cliffhanger, which is to be cliffhanger X. We get this cliffhanger where her song is going on. She's playing music. It almost frames it where the people touched by her luck become these zombie things. They got these mushrooms and stuff on their
Hmm.
backs and stuff like that. And then we see the orphanage, and it's everybody who was there at the orphanage. They got these mushrooms and stuff. They look like zombies, like you're running the mill zombies. And then the camera flows in to the dean, and he's glowing with this ominous glow and everything like that. I don't think I saw a mushroom on him, but at the same time, I don't think he's the one causing this, because like when we see his, it's two things about the Dean that his power set in specific. It's two things that confuse me about his power set. One is we see his power set where it's like almost like this tentacle type air manipulation thing. But in when they harken back to like, yeah, he used to be a
It
hero.
was fire.
Yeah, he had fire in his hand and everything like that. So what is his power set? Like they never really said his power set or anything like that. So like that's why that's why it I don't think it's him doing this, because when he got up, the way he got up kind of like zombie like. So when you had said about the boy being the calamity, it might be his power set that is doing this.
Like some parasite type of like venom carnage type of thing
Yeah.
that's going on. Something that's uh yeah, like an external source pretty much controlling him
Yeah,
at
because
this point in time.
whatever the dean said probably set him off, and then for this forced it.
But he would already have had been attached to whatever it was, because because like you said, we're seeing two different powers. We're seeing he had fire, and then like he has like some demonic fifth dimension tentacles that are shooting off of his back type of thing that we can't see. Like they kind of go out of their way to make it like, yeah, they
Yeah,
it blinks in and out of existence, but I think that's more so for us to see versus what's actually happening in the moment, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm thinking, I'm thinking now that we're talking about it more, I do think it has something to do with the boy's power in some type of fashion that is like a carnage venom symbiote type of thing that's going on.
Yeah.
Uh and I have a feeling that it comes from the guitar. What we're seeing is the effects of the guitar because it creates spores.
Yeah. Like I forgot all about saying that at the top. The guitar that the dean got them, when he first strums it, these lights and spore like lights came from it. I was under the impression it was like, since his power is bad luck and her power is good luck, when they were strumming it, it was like showing you their power. That's basically what it was. That's what I was thinking. Like their power can be amplified through music. That's what I was thinking and everything
Uh-huh.
like that. But when you just mentioned that, I was like, oh well, it could be the guitar. It could be that was probably the key to it. But like at the same time, later down the road, even of the previous episode, we didn't see that. And then as she's out there on the streets and everything, we don't see that effect either. So either
No,
she got her.
they show it. They do end up showing the effect. Not it wasn't during the whole time, but it was around I think like the end before she starts running, and like they're talking about like they found the saint and everything again. There's you see the
Oh,
spores
okay,
coming off the guitar. So
okay.
maybe it isn't a physical thing like I was thinking, but more like what how you were saying it, like it's supposed to be a representation type of thing. But they do bring it back to that point there, and then we go to the end and we see purple spores flying around.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's another cliffhanger. I don't know what it would say. Is there anything you didn't like about the episode, and you have a favorite part of the episode?
That I didn't like, not really. I guess I I really didn't like the way she got away. It was very cheesy to me, but it made a lot of sense of like just the way like things happen in this series where it comes like straight left field, like out of nowhere. You this big truck comes around and then lets her go, and then he's like, huh, "You still have to deal with me." And then of course it attracts his bad luck and crashes in. Like that was kind of cheesy to me. But my favorite part would have was the whole point of her rebuilding herself after running away, like playing the guitar on the market and rebuilding her trust value and stuff. That was probably my favorite part right there.
Okay, all right. What are we looking forward to the next episode, Tim?
Well, before we do that, what was your favorite and least favorite?
Oh, I already told you my least favorite is the one thing. I don't even think I have a favorite part, to be honest. Like I said, I was really out of it in this episode. I like I said, I really do enjoy the show. I do, but if it was me, if I was not sitting here having this discussion and talking to the beautiful, wonderful fans of us and everything like that, I would have dropped it the first episode of ESO when it switched to ESO. I would have instantly dropped it because I was like, oh, so we getting another dude. Okay, that's cool. I would have dropped it immediately and waited
Mm-hmm.
until it finished. Like it was completely finished. All the episodes was out, and then watch it again, rewatch it again, and see what happened. And see what happened. Because like I don't normally watch stuff week to week. Like it's gotta pull me in. There's only
Yeah.
like two shows that is airing right now that I am watching week to week. One of them I know is probably fantasy garbage. It's the Country Bunkin'. It's a Sword Master. But the other one
I
is
heard
the
that one's cooking though. I'll tell you the truth. I heard that one's cooking.
and the other one is the Demon Sword one. Those are the only two shows that I'm watching week to week. One of them is episodic,
Yeah.
and the other one is just pretty much a slice of life type anime, with some action stuff in it and everything like that. But like it's those are the only two things that I am watching week to week. Something like this, I feel like this is like a main course like anime. This is something that could become a classic, and it's like one of those things where I would, and because it's like it's chopping stuff up as like an anthology, we're getting stuff about each of the top 10 pretty much. I want to watch it all in one because like watching this week to week, it doesn't. This is like one of those shows that it doesn't help it being week to week. Like how I've talked about Lazarus being it week to week, it doesn't help it. And in all honesty, for me anyway, or for
Yeah.
us to like talk about, have a discussion and stuff about it, it doesn't help it being for us to be week to week. Granted, I didn't really. Granted I grew up watching stuff week to week, but like it was totally different back in my day. We had to watch it on TV and stuff, so
It's
we didn't
different when you
have
have
that.
the attention span of a goldfish versus being an adult, man. It's completely it's completely different. I tell you that much. But nah, I get what you're saying. Uh, especially because like Lazarus, I'm not really too pressed to continue watching Lazarus until it's done. Uh, for that reason, but I can get what you're saying. Like I would rather watch this something like this in pockets. Like okay, 4 episodes, Eso's done. I'll watch those 4 episodes, or
Yeah,
even all 25. But I can see where it's like I would rather watch this each section as a completed story.
yeah. I kind of wish they did what they did with the League of Legends anime, Arcane. Like they
Mm-hmm.
dropped like 3 episodes at once or something like that. Like so, like they could have dropped the entire Commoner thing. They could have dropped the entire ESO thing or something like that.
Okay, just batch
Like
dropping it.
yeah, like they could have did something like that. But I get why they're doing it like this. It's just it's not grasping right now. Out of the 3 stories that we've had so far, I'm Cyan is the weakest one for me.
Really?
Yeah, her story is the weakest one for me so far.
I'm kind of enjoying hers a little bit more than Easel's.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know if it's because the commoner or I can't even think of his original name now. The first one, Nice. I don't know if it's
Nice.
because it was just like the introduction of the series, so it stands out a lot more to me. But I do think, as of right now, I put Cyan above E Soul, but below Commoner. But I think will go. I think she has a chance to go number one to me, especially if it goes. I'll just go on ahead and do my prediction for it now. I think what's going to end up happening is she's going to end up having to kill her best friend at this point in time because I think he is the zombie, like the controller of everything. So I think she's going to end up having to kill him and the orphanage guy, or maybe just him. So I think that's depending on how they pull off that the ending sequence of it. I could see it for me becoming number one. I just like this style, this specific storytelling a little bit more than the other two, at least more than Esol. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I'm really enjoying the Cyan storyline.
Now going with the prediction wise, I don't think she's going to have to kill him. I don't think she's going to kill anybody. However, I do think uh she cuz I think she has like a suit in the opening. She has like a hero suit besides her cyan power thing, but
Mm-hmm.
as the idol singer and everything like that. I don't think she's going to have to kill him, but I do think he is going to die. I don't think he's going to die in the next episode. It's probably going to be the episode after next, but I do think he dies and says something to push her on into becoming a hero and everything like that. Because as it stands right now, I don't think she's in the top 10. She is known and everything like that. And we haven't really seen her do any heroic things. This might be the first, this pulling up here where her friend might actually be her quote unquote nemesis. And this might be her push into becoming the hero singer, basically.
Yeah, yeah, something that's going to end up cause. Yeah, I can see that happening. Uh,
Because
that that
I don't think she got it in her to kill somebody, especially not that dude.
we always say that, but when it comes to a hero story, it's always that one thing of like, well, are you a hero? If saving me means killing me, are you going to save me? Like, like one of them type of things. So
Okay.
you never know when it comes to heroes. You would always say that, but I'm gonna have to go back and look. I feel like during the Esol thing when we first saw her, her face was not as cheerful. Like she looked like there was something more going on to her when we saw her. Maybe I'm mixing faces up at this point in time, but I feel like she didn't have the same cyan look on her face, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think the very first time we actually see her is at the end of the fight. Oh, like her see her face is because she's performing. Is at the end of the ESO fight. Because I know she was mentioned, and then you
Mm-hmm.
see her in posters and stuff like that, and she's smiling, and you saw her on those tickets. But I can't remember if we actually saw her face, quote unquote. But I don't know. You could be right. You could
Yeah,
be right.
I think we saw her. I think the first time we saw her outside of like imagery and stuff was in that last episode. I'm not too sure if it was like during the concert moment or before then, but yeah, no, we did see. I like I said there was so much going on at that point in time. I feel like I could have just been mixing up faces at this point in time.
And I will say this: I know I always harken back to the opening and everything like that. In the opening, there's a part in the opening where you see Cyan. You see like if she's in her concert thing and she does something like this with her hand, and she brings out like it's like a little energy ball thing. That could be something. And then after that, you see this little pigtail robotic looking girl. It's uh um jumping through the moon or something like that. That's why I think Cyan has like a suit. That's
I
why I
think
think
that's
she
a
has a suit.
hero.
Oh,
I
that's
think
another
that
hero. Oh, I
yeah,
thought that was Cyan in like her suit.
Yeah, no, that's what if it's the scene I think you're talking about, that's another one of the top 10 heroes, and their dad used to be X before the X now.
Oh, okay.
So, but I'm pretty sure you talking about like they have like you said like they got like animal ears, and then
Yeah. They got
like
like
they have
little
like red
pigtails.
stripes on their
Yeah,
face.
I don't know if it's red stripes, but like you see, like it's like right after Cyan does that, you see the girl. She's jumping off a building, and there's a moon. She's jumping, and you don't really see the person. You just kind of see their silhouette.
I'm gonna have to go back and take because every time I go and I'm watching it, I'm
But
watching
they're in
some,
like a
I'm seeing
suit.
something
Like
new.
they're in like a Power Ranger like Iron Man type suit. You could tell
Okay.
it's a suit.
Oh, maybe you are right. Maybe I'm
Man,
thinking of a
I was
different.
thinking, yeah, I was thinking it was Cyan in like her suit, but I don't know. It could be. You let us know down below what you think. What if you enjoyed episode 9 of To Be Hero? If I'm wrong, if Tim is wrong, if we right, and whatever and all that jazz, we would love to have a discussion down there in the comments. Again, if you like this video, like it. If you like us, subscribe to us and hit that notification bell. I have been Shin the Hero. This has been the Anime Association. We will catch y'all in the next discussion.